What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so before I get into this video, I want to give a big shout out to Lou the Writer Sports for the donation to the channel via the Cash App. Leaves a note saying, "What if MJ played for the Lakers from 1999 to 2003?" And to this one, I have to say, it's very, very unlikely that would have actually happened. Um, I just couldn't see Michael Jordan play for any other organization at that time other than the Chicago Bulls. Uh, but let's go with this. First of all, I couldn't see him playing in that abbreviated 98-99 season, which started in February, ended in what, late April or early May. I couldn't see him playing in that season um, because Phil Jackson was not the head coach of Lakers, and he wouldn't have came back to play in what would end up being absolute lost Bull season. I think they only went 13 and 37 in that 50 game schedule year. Okay, now one thing that kind of makes a little sense in this scenario is if Phil Jackson talks him into coming out of retirement. And let's say, look, we know that he had the finger injury that he suffered. What was it? I think he sliced his finger, supposedly using a cigar cutter. Now, we're not talking about the same injury he had in '98. This was a more severe injury which would require surgery. So if he had the surgery, let's say Phil talks him into it. Let's say Phil talks him into coming out of retirement that summer. He informs him he's going to be the new head coach of the, what looked like he's going to be the new head coach of the Lakers. He informs this. Mike has the surgery. He recovers from it. And then he tries to get into basketball shape. And let's say he starts the season off a little bit sluggish because he's still trying to get into basketball shape. Let's say this is November of '99, December of '99. He's still a little bit out of shape. Let's say he's 230, 225 pounds, right? Because I think the difference with this Jordan is he'll be a little bit lighter. I think he'd be more of his Chicago late '90s weight rather than the weight he was a few years later when he put on all that weight and he lost the weight, but he was still around 225. I think he'd be about 210, 215 here when he gets to playing weight. That's just a guesstimate. The big problem I'm seeing here is, number one, Michael looks at a guy like Kobe and Shaq and the prism as his competitors. Kobe's going to look at Mike as another guy getting in his way of, rising to the top. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, this guy's in my way. This is my competition. To a certain extent, I think Shaq's going to look at that too. So it's like, I'm thinking the only way this can work if Jordan comes over there and immediately tells them, look, I'm only here in a mentoring role. I'm here to help this organization win championships. And maybe he fills the void that Glenn Rice did. That's the only, but Jordan has that personality, man. I would have to guess that in public appearances, when he's talking to the press, he talks about teamwork, and he's just there to help, and you're not trying to get in Shaq's way. This is Shaq's team, I'm not trying to get in the way. This is Shaq's team, I was leading the Chicago Bulls, but then he's leading the Los Angeles Lakers. I'm just here to help, any way I can. Phil's on a mission. I'm on a mission. Kobe, he's a young lion. I can see him being a mentor to Kobe. But behind the scenes, it's on. You know what I'm saying? It's still the same competitiveness. By this point in time, Kobe is going up and up and up and up as a player. Jordan may be maxing out, but um, I think in this scenario though, Jordan is still pretty much where he was before. You know what I'm saying? He may have lost a little bit more athleticism, but his game is still unbelievable. You know what I'm saying? So just imagine the 2000 Lakers, but instead of Glenn Rice, who was on the decline at that point, imagine this being a 36, 37-year-old Michael Jordan who never retired, who still can average, even with Shaq and Kobe, still going to average around 26 points a game, maybe 27. And I'm going to tell you another thing, too. If he's playing with Shaq, his field goal percentage is going to go up. He's going to play off of Shaq more. So I wouldn't be surprised if he went to Chicago. I mean, excuse me, went to L.A. He would average about 27, I think. But he would shoot probably, he'd probably shoot around 49% from the floor. That don't sound like much, but trust me, that was a high percentage back in the 2000s for a guard. I think he shoot around somewhere around that range, 49%. I think his steals will go up. I think he averaged over 2 steals a game playing there. And but you know, I think that he would perform well. Now, as the years go on, he takes a lesser and lesser role offensively. 27. Then he drops down to like 22, 20, 19, something like that. That becomes more a Kobe and Shaq's team. I wouldn't even put it past it that there's some games that come off the bench as some injuries inevitably come up. About 2002, 2003. But in this scenario, let's just, like I said, this is a very unlikely scenario, but Phil Jackson's there. You know, his kids are getting older. So, you know, him not being in Chicago or whatever doesn't really affect them as much. I would say they won the championship in 2000, 2001, 2002, and probably 2003. Probably 2003. And Mike would help to squash some of this BS that going on between Shaq and Kobe. He would help to squash some of this stuff. Because Jordan is that one personality that people listen to. You know what I'm saying? Even Kobe. Even though Kobe going to kick his ass in practice all the time, because he think he's better than him, but he respects the hell out of Mike, and I think he could be a factor to helping them maximize their potential as a duo. So what I'm saying is that they're going to four-peat. Yeah, I am saying that, and I mean Jordan going to have 10 championships. Yes, I am saying that. So that's what I'm going with. I'm going with 10 championships. Winning number 7 in 2000, number 8 in 2001, number 9 in 2002, and going out with a bang with number 10 in 2003. The last championship will be the hardest one. The last championship will be the hardest one. The hardest is going to be them beating the Spurs in a Game 7 on the road. Because I think injury is going to affect that team a little bit, and Spurs have a better record, but I'm gonna go with the former Bull on the Lakers, and that's just how I feel about it. Look, this is just for fun, man. This ain't to be taken too seriously. We just having fun. But anyway, that's just my take on that. Tell me what you guys think.